Welcome back to my channel. This is Pashpika, the channel where we talk a lot about designing, everything about designing. Well, in today's video, we're gonna be diving into how to make a beautiful, amazing design using the gradient tool in the Photoshop, and we're gonna be using a bunch of the different filter option as well and gradient tool. So let's dive in. Before we go past, consider clicking like button, guys. I do really appreciate that. If you want more such video, consider subscribing. Hit the bell icon. Whenever I'm gonna upload new videos, you're gonna get notified about it. Also, you can visit our website globocreative.com for cool free resources, freebies. The links are in the description box below. If you are interested in getting the Photoshop cool tools like the custom brushes, shapes and gradients, then we have an entire membership, the Global Creative Club membership, that will going to deliver you every single month the cool new Photoshop tools like the brushes, the gradients, shapes, which you could very well use for creating your own designs. A full commercial license available. It's just $5 a month. The link is in description box below. In the tutorial, I would just want to say this is just one of the way to make a beautiful design in the Photoshop. Obviously, there are so many ways in which you can approach this. So without further ado, let's dive in with this tutorial. Okay guys, currently we are in the Photoshop. You could clearly see that. So I'm going to quickly go and grab a new white canvas. So click over to the file, click over to the new. Here you are with the new, and you can select the size of the canvas that you want. I'm going to keep it as 1000 by 1000 pixels. RGB color mode, background content is white. You can choose a very specific color, the resolution 72. You can select all those stuff and simply click OK. So here we are with the new white canvas. I'm gonna progress further, and we're gonna be using the cool tools in the Photoshop to create our design. Then we're gonna be using the filter option to actually create a filter of the design that we would like to be making. So we're going to be using a gradient tool in the Photoshop to create this design. So I'm going to be selecting any specific gradient. You can create your own gradients and you can use that, or either you can use the gradient that we are providing in our membership. The link is in description box below. Anyways, you can use any gradient. Once you are selecting the gradient, make sure you are using that particular gradient for creating your design. So I'm going to select that one gradient which I'm going to be using for creating my design. Next, you can select the mode, whichever one you want for creating a design. They have the different ones. You can use the exclusion, the hard, the simple light. They have a lot of the different kinds of the mode which you can use for using the gradient tool, depending on what the end result you want. Then I'm going to simply drag this particular cursor over to one side, and here we are with this design. I'm going to be using an auto tone option in the file, in the edit image option, to get the tonicity of the image or the design file. Now we're going to be proceeding towards further, and I'm going to be using a filter tool. So we're going to be specifically using a one filter. You can obviously use more than one filter, or one, depends on you. So I'm gonna go over to the stored option, and I'm gonna be using a one font over here to create that swirling pattern which you see as the end result. So we're gonna be actually be using that particular filter. So we are using a 12 filter over here. You can obviously use another filter because I want that circular kind of like effect in the between, like in the center of my design. So that's why I'm using a 12 filter option. Now you can see the angle over here, like how much you want the how circular you want the design and all that stuff. Simply click OK. Here we are. Now you could see how our design actually looking after applying the filter option, the 12. You could go back and you can apply the filter option again, and you can change the angles. You can play around with this particular stuff and see how it's actually looking. So now I've actually increased the angle, and you could see how it's actually increased and creating a kind of effect which I want. Now I'm going to be using the filter gradient tool option again, and you can see I've simply drag it to the lower right hand side to get the cool new effect. Now you're gonna be using an auto tone option to increase the tonicity of my design, and that's what we're gonna be doing over here. Obviously you can change the gradient tool, and you could use another gradient over here to get that effect that you want for your design. It entirely depends on you. Now again, I'm going to be using a filter option because we have used the gradient tool. You can change the different angles, like you can increase or decrease the angle in the 12 option. You could see this, I'm actually playing around with the angle option to see how it's actually going to look like, and now you could see how it's actually looking. So again, I'm going to go back and use the gradient tool again and to create a different effect, and we have already used it. So I'm going to use the auto tone option again. And now you could see how it's actually looking. You can be done over here if you don't want to progress further, and you can simply save your file. But I think I'm gonna keep on using the different gradients and using the different auto tone option to see the tonicity, and until I'm done with the kind of a design that I want. So you could see I'm simply dragging down and then actually using the auto tone option and seeing how the actual design looks like. and then I'm tweaking around and playing around with the design around that. So again, I'm going to be using this 12 option once I've used a lot of the gradient tools, and now you could see how it's actually changing the design and how this particular filter option is looking so cool on our design. You could play around or you could simply save your file. I think I'm done with the design, so I'm going to quickly go over and save my file. You can play around and you can expand even further if you're not done with your design. If you're done, just simply save the file. I'm going to save it as a JPEG file format. You could save it in any other file format, name your file and simply click OK. So we are making a cool, amazing, simple design using a gradient tool and 12 filter option in the Photoshop. Obviously, the sky is the limit when it comes to the creativity. You could be more creative than me and you could do a lot of the different stuff. But this is the thing I probably gonna be doing, and I think that it's looking amazing, and this is the end result. Using the simple filter options and simple gradient tool in the Photoshop. Very simple. You don't need to be a designer or from the art background to create these beautiful designs, cool looking designs in the Photoshop. You just need to be a normal person and just be creative enough. So that's it, this video, guys. Hopefully you find it useful. If you find this tutorial useful, let me know what you think in the comment section below. If you want more such videos, I would really love to hear from you. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm gonna see you in the next video. Till then, take care. Bye, guys.